When I first came to Yeshiva, I felt very, very out of place. And once I met the Rebbetzin and the family, I realized that this is not just the Yeshiva, it is a family here. The Yeshiva extended his family warmth into the Yeshiva, into all the Bachrim, and I'm sure everybody felt that. It was one big family, and she was at the center of all of it.
The Rebbetzin was like family to everybody in Yeshiva.
She treated the Talmidim as her sons, their wives as her daughter-in-laws, and their children as her grandchildren.
After I had my son Shmuley, she took such an interest in him. She used to babysit him. She treated him like her own grandkid.
The Rebbetzin showed true interest and concern for the development and the further growth of our children. She was always following when they started walking, are they curling, so on and so forth.
That's why I would call it Mishpachas Basin, because the way the Rebbetzin treated everybody in Yeshiva, it was family to us.
One random day during winter's man, the Yeshiva told me that he's making a kumsitz if I'm bringing in his house. The Rebbetzin felt that the Bachram could use a little boost, and she'll be making her famous potato kugel, cookies and popcorn. Would help out the Bachram a lot during our long winters, man. Yeshiva asked me if I can bring my guitar, and I said for sure. And we had a long night of singing, and Yeshiva spoke. It was a very nice time. The Rebbetzin really, really, really loved it. And the next day, the Rebbetzin suddenly passed away. And that was the last time the Bachram saw the Rebbetzin.
When the yeshiva heard that her life was besakana, there was a outpour, 14 hours of intense tefillah.
So I was in Eretz Yisrael at the time, and I immediately started calling all the Basin guys who were in Eretz Yisrael to make a minyan at the Kaisel to say Tehillim.
When they heard that she was nifta, the shock and pain was indescribable.
I just felt the air sucked out of me. I was like, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think straight. I mean, all the basic guys, it was like, we didn't even know what to do, what to think, how to move on, it was like, I don't know, if the sun just disappeared. Everyone would be totally disoriented. We were just shocked. It was like, then the crying came, but in the meantime, it was like, just no words.
The night the Rebbetzin passed away, if you were to walk into the dorm, you would see just Bachram, just with their eyes red, crying on each other's shoulders. Nobody was able to sleep.
We're on this roller coaster of crying, not crying. We just felt so lost and so sad.
That night, I just didn't sleep at all. I just stayed up. I was crying. Just like everyone else.
For the next week, walking through the streets, I had to look around to make sure people weren't laughing at me. I was just crying as I was walking down the block.
We all lost a mother that day. This was her yeshiva. We were her bachrim. And we all lost something amazing that day.
This Ashuna, this last Seder that I spent with her, she came running out of the kitchen with a huge smile on her face, and she says, "For you this year, we have a special simon. It's cauliflower, because you're going to get a challah with flowers." Just a few months later, I was going out, and it was going really well, and then that's when we got the news. And I ended up getting engaged the day after the Rebbetzin Shiva, and I was so upset. I kept telling everyone the story about the cauliflower, and I told everyone all I wanted was for her to see my challah with flowers. But I realized that she's looking down, she saw my challah, she saw her flowers, and we hope to give her nachas for many, many years to come.
She was so proud of the Indolite and their wives. She held them in very high regard. and all the children. She had such nachas from them all. And I'm sure she's having even more nachas now.
She had a respect for the Bachram and Yeshiva, which lav davka came from other people. She had an actual respect for Bachram and Yeshiva. And she respected their time, and she respected their needs.
When a new Bachar came to Yeshiva, she would come over to me when I was by their house, and she would say, "Did you meet him yet? Did you get to know him yet?" She always wanted everyone in Yeshiva to feel like this is a place where I belonged. She wanted them to feel comfortable.
As Bachram of the Yeshiva, the Rebbetzin was an integral part of our success and of our lives.
The Rebbetzin was like family to everybody in Yeshiva. She knew how to make everybody feel good about themselves, feel happy about themselves. She pushed them to become better people in all aspects of life, and she would make you feel good after you accomplish it.
It was a pella how Isha, so regal and reserved, made such an impact on the young Talmidei HaYeshiva.
Perhaps the biggest proof how she affected everybody were the babies that were named after her.
I called Rosh Yeshiva and I said, Rebbe, I just had a girl, and Rosh Yeshiva said, Mazel Tov. I'm sure Rosh Yeshiva gets a call like that a lot of times. But I said, Rebbe, I'm thinking of, I wanted to ask permission if we could name after the Rebbetzin, Alashon. So I remember there was like a pause, silence, and then Rosh Yeshiva, in broken words, he says, Naftali, that would mean the world to me. The Rebbetzin was very good to the Yeshiva. She devoted herself, and I wish for my daughter, Tamar Rivka, to follow in the footsteps of the Rebbetzin, always taking care of everyone else and thinking of everyone and not herself.
I didn't actually know she had another job, to the point I thought her job was Yeshiva.
But she pulled off non-stop for the Bachram, whether it was Rosh Hashanah, Simchas Torah, Chanukah, Purim, Shabbosim, Shavuos. It was non-stop, real sacrifice. And that's something that we all carry with us till today.
There was no aspect of her life that didn't involve Yeshiva. The Yeshiva was so much part of her. She was so much part of Yeshiva. It was inseparable. The Rebbetzin was behind everything in Yeshiva. I would say she was behind the scenes, but many things like Yom Tov, she was front and center. Whether it was a Thursday night with her kugel, or whether it was a Yom Tov away, or was Bachar in the house at any hours of the night.
I was there one Thursday night at 2 a.m. and her sister called her up. She heard talking in the background. She was like, "Who do you have? Who's there at so late at night?" Because she knew everyone else was asleep. She said, "It's one of the Bachrim from Yeshiva." She said, "So kick him out." She says, "I would never kick a Bachar out of my house, no matter what time it was."
There was no part of the year that was off. Purim, Chol Hamoed Sukkos, Simchas Torah, Shavuos, Shabbos, the summer, even Tisha B'Av at times.
There were special times that we knew we were always in the Rosh Yeshiva's house. Purim night, after everything was over, we sat down for a Purim Suda number 3.
In the Rebetzin's life, there was no such word in the dictionary as I can't. She lived by the words of I can and of course I will.
First month of the summer, she went away with Yeshiva. She cooked a lot of times for Yeshiva, had them over. They were constantly in our bungalow.
The fresh popcorn, fresh kugel.
Hanging around Rosh Yeshiva's house, invited or uninvited, was always met with a great welcome from the Rebbetzin, as if we made her day coming, literally. That's how we felt. There were many ways the Rebbetzin focused on our Gashmias, making sure our needs were met. But in truth, where the Rebetzin's heart lied in Yeshiva was in the continued growth and steiging of the Bachrim. That's what she cared about the most, and that's what meant to her the most. Her highlight of Yeshiva, as many can attest to, was Shavuos. The simcha, the joy that she had, and be able to provide so that the Bachrim, Nigalite, could learn over Shavuos and grow over Shavuos was her ultimate nachas, her ultimate joy.
She was a full shutef with the Yeshiva in every aspect of the Mesiras Nefesh of being Marbitz Torah. The Talmidei Yeshiva witnessed firsthand the Yeshiva's Gvura, the Gvura of a Malach, and they followed. Their reaction was to be mechazik in the limud ha-Torah.
By the Shloshim of the Rebbetzin, after the guys in Yeshiva finished Shisa Siddur Mishnah, the Rosh Yeshiva in his speech mentioned that the Rebbetzin would want that we take upon ourselves to learn a certain amount of Mishnayos every single day. Committing to do 3 Mishnayos a day is not so hard, but to do it every single day and be disciplined and keep to it and not forget a day, not miss a day, that's something that's actually very hard. And we all grew from this a lot, showing ourselves that we could keep committed.
I've been in this yeshiva for around 8 years, and in the past year I've seen such a difference in the Kol Torah, the Olam putting more effort in the learning.
This past year, there's been a tremendous amount of learning that was done Le'ilui Nishmasa. To say that I am proud and thankful to all the Bachrim and the alumni for all that they did for her would be a tremendous understatement.
Who could have imagined that they would be makabel on themselves to be Messiah, Shas, Talmud Bavli for the Yartzeit? And they did it. The simcha was immense.
The Siyam HaShas was unbelievable. It was so dahaibin, so special. I don't think anyone will ever forget it. All the learning that was done Le'ilui Nishmasa is ad lahafli. But the truth is, her schus doesn't stop. The yeshiva goes on, the Bachrim continue to steig, and that's all to her credit.
Haschusim are forever multiplying. Yehei Zichra Baruch.
Life will never be the same, but I cherished every moment, which was a lot, that I got to spend with her. Everything that is being done, I'm sure, is a big schus for her. And the impact she had on everyone's lives, and that she continues to have on everyone's lives, will never be forgotten.
The yeshiva continues, the yeshiva grows, the yeshiva thrives, the Bachrim steig. It's all b'schusa, and may it continue. I'd be a skilled tzedek b'mher b'yameinu amen.